Good morning. How are you guys doing today? So I see that we've got some people waiting in the stream. So first and foremost, who's out there? Say hi in the chat so I can know who's out there for me. Okay. So I hope your first day of digital learning went well. I've got my mic kind of up away from my mouth here, so hopefully I won't get a lot of feedback. But if I'm too quiet, let me know, okay? And I can kind of adjust where I have it placed here. But yeah, I hope your first day of digital learning went well. It went pretty well from my end, at least I think it did. I'd like your feedback on that, okay? So it looks like most of you guys were able to do the work that I asked you to do yesterday, for which I am exceedingly grateful. For real, you guys knocked it out of the park. Awesome job. So if there were any particular issues for you on your end or things that you found challenging or the way that I had it set up, this would be a really good time for us to kind of discuss that before we get too far along in this process, so that I can figure out what we might need to change, just so we can get a sense of what would be easiest for you. Okay. What I'm going to do in just a moment. Hey, Kennedy, how you doing, lady? So what I'm going to do in just a moment is I'm going to go over kind of what the lesson plans are for both Honors World History and AP Comparative Government and Politics. AP Comp kids, stick around later because I want to make sure that I get my honors stuff done quickly, just in case the honors kids don't want to hang around for very long because there are fewer of them. So any feedback for me on what was easy, what was hard, what might be challenging in general? Hey, Alani, how you doing? So hang on a second. Good. Okay. I'm getting notifications right now as you guys are turning in your work for AP Comp. I really appreciate it. Looks like you aren't having a hard time uploading files, for which I am very grateful. So do let me know if you're running into trouble or if you know of somebody who's running into trouble. Hey, Devin, how you doing? So, okay, so I want to go over the lesson plan for Honors World History first. AP Comparative kids, I'll get to you guys in about maybe 10 minutes or so. So if you want to just kind of like hang out in the chat, you can chat to each other too, by the way. I don't mind if you do that. Hey, Sydney, I just got your turned in work, so thank you for turning that in. I don't mind if you chat to each other in the chat. Just keep it school appropriate. I can and will kick you out if I need to. But while I'm kind of going over the honors stuff, if you want to just kind of tune out, you're welcome to. So, for Honors World History, today what you guys are going to be doing is you will be working through material on the early Middle Ages in Western Europe. So we haven't been to Western Europe in a long time in this class. The last time we were there was under the Roman Empire. So that was Unit 2, and we are now in Unit 6. So it's been a while, yeah? So what I'm going to ask you to do, sorry, the coffee is necessary. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do for Honors World History is you need to watch 2 quick videos on their screencast lectures. I did put PDFs up there for you so that you could download notes, but that is primarily for people who don't have good access to internet. PDFs take a lot less bandwidth to download than say like a video does. So I'd much rather like if you possibly have the option, please watch the video. By the way, this goes to you too, as well, AP Comparative Government and Politics kids, because here's the thing. I can see the stats. So I know how many people download the PDF, which is cool. Please do. Like, it's free notes. Please take it. But I can also see how many people actually watch the videos. And as of last night, it was like 44 people watched the first video. There are 100 of you guys in this class, so y'all need to like watch them. Okay. I'm like, I can't force you to, but I would strongly suggest for just keeping pace with stuff that you do. Okay. So, like, only 44 people appear to have watched the first video, and then the numbers drop from there. So, I am going to strongly suggest that you guys get it together, y'all. Otherwise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those YouTube videos and I'm going to put them into Edpuzzle where you have to answer questions as you go. So that I know that you watched the whole thing. Okay. Like that's what we might have to do if I see those numbers drop. Okay. Hey Avery, how you doing? But yeah, Honors World History kids, what you're going to do is you're going to watch those videos. You're going to fill out your guided notes form that I've put up there for you, and then at the end you're going to take a quick 3-question quiz, just like what AP Comp did yesterday. It's really easy. You just click on the link. It's not meant to be like a gotcha sort of quiz. It's just to make sure that you actually retained the information, and so that I can see that you're logging on and doing stuff. Okay, so that's Honors World. So for AP Comparative Government and Politics, what you should be doing today, and what actually quite a lot of you have already done, based on what I'm seeing in my inbox, so good job you, is you're going to need your 5.2 reading packet, the one that's already scanned on the blog. You're going to read pages 8 through 12, I think. Yeah, that's the pages. Yeah. Pages 8 through 12 in the reading packet, which is the stuff that starts talking about the political regime. I'm going to ask that you look at the Constitution, the executive branch, and the legislative branch today. And what you're going to do is you're going to read it thoroughly, take your time with it, take notes on it as you go. That would be a good idea. Annotate the pages, whatever it is you need to do to make sure that you retain the information, do it. Then, once you've read through all the information, I want you to either use the docx file that I've linked to of Across Matrix and type directly into it and fill it out. The boxes will expand with you as you type. Um, or if you can't use a docx for whatever reason, like you're on your phone or it just won't work for you, you can open the PDF and look at what I want you to do in terms of the chart. And then you could draw it out in your own notebook, take a picture of it, and then upload that to the files. So either way will work just fine. So that's what I'm asking you guys to do today. I do have one other message for AP Comparative Government people, and that is it's Mark's birthday. It's his 18th birthday today. So if you could, you need to either virtually send him a message saying happy birthday, or you need to call him up or send him, I don't know, like what do the young people do? Send him a TikTok, whatever it is. But congratulate him on his birthday, because this is a weird moment to have an 18th birthday. So make sure you do that for him. Okay. Good morning, Chandler. How you doing? So that's the plan for today. Excuse me. Coffee down the wrong pipe is a bad idea. So that's the plan for today. So do you guys have any questions or concerns about how we're running this sort of system so far? I'll kind of wait for you guys to respond. Chandler, I have to admit, I did not watch Elite last night. I didn't. I didn't watch much of anything last night, actually. I was busy writing, and listening to music was kind of my thing. I was listening to a lot of the Mountain Goats. So that was, no, I haven't watched Elite yet. I need to. It's on my list, but I'm trying not to like overwhelm myself with media right now. This morning when I got up, I listened to a quick podcast on the news, so I knew what was going up, what was going on in the world. And then I decided, because last night my plan was to live stream the Met Opera is doing free live streams for everybody right now, but everyone in the world apparently had the same idea I did, and so the server was down because too many people were on the website. But this morning at 8 a.m., nobody was on the website. So while I've been working this morning, I've been having Bizet's Carmen play in the background, and I can kind of see it over here, just out of the corner of my eye. I've got it muted right now. I'll have to go back and watch the last half hour later. But it's been wonderful. So by the end of this quarantine, or whatever it is, I'm going to be brilliant with regards to my understanding of opera. This is what's going to happen. So any tech problems, guys, not just for my class, but for other classes, that is something that I do want to just know so that I can contact with people. Oh, I'm glad you liked that, Chandler. Yeah, we're going to keep up the one good thing, okay? Like that made my day a whole lot better, and I hope it made your day a lot better. I got a lot of really great things. Some of you guys learned how to cook something. Someone changed the oil on their car. Someone talked about going on a hike. Three people told me about colleges they got into. So I'm so pleased about that. I'm going to try to figure out how we can continue putting pins in the board um, virtually. I'm going to see if maybe I can make like a Google map where you guys can go in and add a pin when you've made a decision. So that's something that I'm probably going to try to do. Let's see here. What other things are going on? I've got a bunch of things coming in on Remind. Okay. All right. Give me half a second, guys. I got a kid who I need to respond to really quickly. And let's see here. So talk amongst yourselves. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, I'll try to figure out, Avery, if I can do something where I can like consolidate all of your positives. I won't attach names to them or anything like that, especially like I won't post pictures, that sort of thing. But I could kind of list out what the positives were, that sort of stuff. Your cat is very interested in the live stream. Hi, Kennedy's cat. What's your cat's name, Kennedy? Mhm. Is the robin back? No, I've got a whole bunch of cardinals actually in the tree outside my window right here because my neighbor feeds the birds a lot and she's got a feeder not far from where I am. And like they're really loud right now. It's actually kind of nice. So they're really bright red against kind of the gray of the fog. I don't know if you guys have fog where you are, but it's very, very foggy where I am right now. Your cat's name is Belle? Good. Is it like Belle as in Beauty and the Beast, or is it Belle for something else? Mhm. Cardinals are fun, but they're kind of mean and they're messy. Like I usually have a I need to actually that's something I need to do later on today. I need to fill up my bird feeder, but whenever the cardinals come through, they like I put out like mixed bird seeds so that it's good for a number of different types of birds. But what they'll do is they like the sunflower seeds, right? So they'll just pick those out and then they throw the shells everywhere. So I always have to sweep up after them. Like, I like them. I don't want them to go away. Um, but they do make a mess. Well, what you gonna do? Yeah. So, so do you guys have any questions about the content that you needed to go through today? Okay. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Oh, no, I saw that you beat North Paulding. Yeah, good job, Haley. That's fantastic. Yeah, I think Coach Hargis had a picture of that on his Facebook because we're old and we use Facebook. But yeah. But yeah, congratulations. That's super awesome. Yeah. Is North Paulding's golf team really good? I mean, I'm going to assume they're really good, right? And I'm going to assume that you were fantastic. Yeah. I don't know much about golf. This probably like breaks my mother's family's like heart because they are all golfers and I I think it's really boring, but I'm glad you love it and I'm glad you're good at it. It's just not my thing. I think it's pretty, you know. Like if the masters are on, I'll turn it on because the scenery is pretty and everything. But yeah, they're okay. They're not the best. No, Haley, we're going to pretend they're fantastic. Okay. So what other lessons did you guys have yesterday? Like how did they go? Did the technology work okay for you? You had to teach yourself pre-calc? Ooh, ooh. I don't know if I'd be very good at that. I know the math teachers are very concerned. Yeah. Um, yeah, the issue is that we've that okay, so we're not supposed to do um l- we're supposed to try to avoid to the best of our ability lessons where you're required to be online at a certain time. So like this isn't a lesson, this is just office hours, this is drop in drop out. I'm not going over any like specific content unless you guys have like specific content questions. um, but we're not supposed to be like requiring that you be online at 8 a.m. sort of stuff. Yeah. um, so the problem with math is, right, that you need to like see it done, and then you need, if you don't understand it, you need to be able to like jump in and ask a question right then. But like there's a delay effect to it, and that's really hard. I'm glad you think the blog is organized, Jordan. Um, it was kind of a lot of work trying to set up how I wanted to do it, but I figured doing the work on the front end would make it a lot easier. So yeah, Sunday night was kind of a beast trying to get it all set up and figure out how I wanted the lesson flow to go. But now that I've got the format, it's a lot easier. So but I'm a planner, and you guys know this. Like I give you guys the reading list way ahead of time and all that sort of stuff. So this kind of falls into my wheelhouse. Yeah. You watched Miss Hamilton's AP Stats video for fun because she's a ray of sunshine. She is a delight. I love her. She's wonderful. She and I have had many heated discussions about Star Wars. So yeah. Mhm. I'll tell you what, Kennedy, like honestly, group chats right now, just don't let them get too negative on you, because like this is one thing that I'm really trying to focus on is no matter what your situation is right now, if you're at home with a lot of people or it not at all, that sort of stuff, that we make sure that just because we're trying to make sure that we give ourselves distance and that we take health concerns really seriously right now, that we don't stop communicating with each other. So yeah, group chats are actually really good. Just don't let them into like cesspits of like complaining. Yeah. And if they do, like maybe correct it or opt out. Yeah. It's just TikToks and positivity. Good. TikToks and positivity. That sounds like a really excellent, like, I don't know if that's an album name. I'm not sure. What would it be? Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to start coming up with more creative lesson plans here, but I'm giving myself a little bit of time before I come up with those. Right now, it's just a matter of making sure that all the tech works and everybody knows their logons and all of that sort of stuff. Sorry, my hair is doing weird things and it's driving me nuts. Ah, made it worse. Oh well, it's all right. A podcast. Yeah, a t-shirt on Teespring. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, at some point, was the essay due tomorrow? Okay. Oh, hey, Veronica, it's so good to see you. Okay. So Veronica, I'm going to be real flexible on due dates. I guessed. I'm going to be real flexible on due dates for you, honey. So I really want you to try to get it done the day it's assigned. Try to get it into me today. Most people got it into me yesterday, but try to get it into me today, okay, Veronica? Because I don't want you to fall behind on stuff. I'm trying not to assign a huge amount of work. The DBQ was an exception because we started that before this happened. I'm sorry, I've still got like hair and it's like tickling my face in funny places. Um, um, so yeah, just make sure that you like try to get it done today. If you are working on a computer, that's easier. If you're working on a phone, it's a little bit harder, but you should be able to do it. Let me know if you have any difficulty uploading the file. A couple of you guys had a little bit of trouble, but most of it was you didn't read all the way through the instructions. So yeah, it I mean, technically, yeah, it was, but I'm not taking off points for that. Okay. So just get it into me when you can and don't fall behind on today's work because of it. Okay. Yeah. Does that make sense? So, what else have you guys been doing to be productive with your time so far beyond TikToks and positivity? Let's see here, running and reading. Make some more soap today or tomorrow. Ooh, soap making. That's good. I realized yesterday, this is exceedingly nerdy of me. I'm not I'm not much of a crafter. So like I do art projects and stuff like that, but I'm not much of like a crafter sort of person. But I do have a rag rug that I started. It's a braided rag rug that I started making years ago. Actually, I started making it in. Do you remember Snowpocalypse in 2014? You probably got stuck at school or on a school bus. Yeah, remember that? Super fun, right? You've been staying hydrated. Okay. All right. So that was hilariously fun. And I got stuck in my house for days because it was so icy that like we couldn't go out anywhere. So I had all of these old t-shirts that I didn't need anymore. So I ripped them up into shreds and braided them and made them into essentially like rope and everything, which is how you make a braided rag rug. And then I started coiling it and sewing it together. And it is really slow because you have to hand stitch it. And it's really slow work. And right now, the rug is only about the size of like a dinner plate. Well, it's a little bit larger than that because as you continue making it bigger, it takes longer and longer to stitch each time around. So I've only managed to make it this big since 2014. And, I'll do like one coil and then get distracted and forget about it for like months on end. So I think that's going to be my next project once I finish my collage. Yeah. Okay. So what else, guys? Anything else that you're enjoying doing? I just want to give you guys kind of an opportunity to chat and ask any questions that you have. Um, so Ronnie, have you had a chance to look at the work for today with regards to early medieval Europe? Oh, you had a question a few people up. Okay, hang on. Let me scroll up. Do do do. Oh, I don't see it, Chandler. Am I hallucinating? How about you ask it again for me, Chandler, because I'm not seeing it here. Yeah. So I did ask on your for AP Comp Gov, I did ask you guys on your little sheet on your learning check yesterday to submit any questions that you had about material, and this is what I came up with. So a couple of things that you guys wanted to know. I think actually, Chandler, you asked a question. I think it was you asked a question about secession and nation states around common ethnic ties, but you addressed that yesterday in office hours. So I'm going to kind of let that one slide right now. Um, Someone asked, is Nigeria still largely dependent on the oil industry? Gosh, yes. Unfortunately, it is. There's been an attempt, multiple attempts by both Goodluck Jonathan and Muhammadu Buhari, the most recent presidents of Nigeria, to try and diversify the economy, but it is really hard to get out of a resource trap because in order to get out of a resource trap, you need the money to be able to invest into other things, which means that you need to keep using the resource that you want to eventually get away from. Plus, like people don't like seeing industries shift because if that happens, if industries shift from like oil production to something else, like making shoes, then the people in oil production lose their jobs. And it turns out that the oil lobby is very powerful, extremely. So they don't necessarily really want to like encourage that shift. It would take a remarkable transition for like Shell or the Nigerian government and the people who directly benefit from the oil to make that decision to just shift over. So yeah, Nigeria is still very, very dependent on the oil industry. Um, excuse me. Someone asked, how did Abacha's rule qualify as kleptocracy? Kleptocracy is essentially whenever kleptocracy is rule by theft. That's what that word means. Like someone who's a kleptomaniac is somebody who steals a lot and uncontrollably. But kleptocracy is rule by theft. So that's where essentially you've got people who the power of the state is backed up by the theft of oil or by the theft of money or by the theft of taxes or by the theft of resources. Like that's how the structure is based. Like everything is based off of theft or by stealing. Okay. Oh, okay. So your Wi-Fi is a bit slow. Ronnie, if your Wi-Fi is slow, honey, no te preocupes. Don't worry too much about it. If it's really hard for you to get to like stream a video or something like this right here, you can always download a PDF of the notes and you'll be just fine. Okay. And let me know if like internet issues are a problem for you, kiddo, because what I can do is I can make like a packet of work on PDF and then I can send it to you and you can take one time to download it. And then you'll have the work for like a week or however long we need to like think about this. So because I don't want you guys to be stressed over like, internet access and that sort of stuff. Yeah. So just let me know. Okay. Abacha's rule qualifies as a kleptocracy because what he's doing is you would like the PDF, please. Okay, I can do that, Jada. If you do have internet access, I am going to ask that you yes, I can see that, Chandler. Did you? Yeah, if you type my name in directly, you'll be able to it'll pop up and I'll be able to see it. Um, uh, yeah, Jada, if you do have internet access at home, then I am going to ask that you do the work, especially in the AP level class. Because I can explain things more thoroughly. But if it's an emergency, yeah, I can give you that PDF set. Okay. Just do me a favor. If that's what you need, send me either a message on Remind or send me an email. Okay. Because I don't want you thinking like, oh, the PDF work is less. And so that's what I'm going to do. I can teach better if I can use multiple technologies. And I think and I hope that you'll learn better if you can do it that way as well. Okay. So if you have the technological capability, like you're watching the live stream right now, so that takes a fair bit of technological capability, then I would ask that you try. Okay. Um, Another question that I had that you guys submitted was Buhari, like why did Buhari step down in 1983? Muhammadu Buhari was a young military officer in 1983, and he led a coup d'état. Against, oh my goodness, what is his name? I am blanking. I don't want to lie to you. So I'm going to look it up. Okay. Oh, hang on. There we go. This, by the way, is the chart that I was looking for yesterday. It's in your reading packet for today, I think, maybe tomorrow. But it is, yeah, it's on today because it gets to the pages about the legislature. This is the chart of all of the Nigerian heads of state. And what you can see in it is it's like how many of them were coup d'etats. If you look, it's like coup, 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 coup. And it gives you a sense of sort of the unsettled nature of Nigerian politics. So if you look at that chart, you can see all of the coup d'etats, and you can see that Muhammadu Buhari led a coup d'etat against Shehu Shagari, who was directly elected, but was pretty clearly going to establish a dictatorship because he didn't want to step down. And so Muhammadu Buhari overthrew him, and then he essentially ran the country for 2 years. He was a pretty young man, and then he resigns in favor of Babangida, who was a higher ranking military officer. So the reason he stepped down was actually because there were some internal military politics going on, and like Babangida kind of outranked Buhari. So that's why. It's overly complicated and not relevant is the basic answer. Let's see here. Um, Someone asked, were there other groups that weren't the big three, meaning like the Igbo, Yoruba, and the Hausa, um, who who were included in like kind of the three broad regional territories of Nigeria at the time of independence, or did they have their own like little states? No, I mean like remember we talked about like Nigeria has something like somewhere between 225 and 500 different ethno-linguistic groups. And so when we talk about like Nigeria's diverse population, it's not like everybody of that ethnicity lives in one place. There's a region usually where there's a higher concentration of that group of people, but it's not a matter where it's like everybody in the world associated with that particular group lives there. So yeah, people kind of spread across regions. So in the northern region, yeah, it's majority Hausa Fulani, but there are definitely Yoruba people who live there. There are some Igbo people. There's a whole bunch of other ethnic groups beyond those big three. So yeah, okay, it's more diverse than I've been making it sound. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Okay, Jada, I just got back to you on that. Michael, okay. What you need to do for me, kiddo, is go to the blog and I need you to read through all the instructions on the blog. Okay. So there's guided notes that you need to do. Okay. There are 2 videos that you need to watch. They're pretty short. The first one is 15 minutes and then the second one is like 5 because I couldn't quite squeeze it into one video. So you need to watch the videos, take notes through the guided notes, and then there is a 3-question learning check that you need to do. So you've got to like look at the link that I sent out via Remind, go to the class blog and do the work. Follow through the instructions. Like I need you to read the instructions. Okay? All right. What else, guys? Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Also, dude, Michael, any issues with regards to the essay that I need to know about? Did you have a hard time uploading the file? Yep, crickets. Michael, honey, let me know if you're having trouble with it, okay? All right. Because you need to take care of that for me. All right. So at any rate, yeah. So let's see here. What else are you guys planning on doing today? What's on your to-do list? No attacking. This is a safe space. I know you're not, Chandler. You just stated facts. Yes, you did. There were just crickets. It's okay. It's all right. Michael might have already popped out of here, so it's fine. He just had a question to ask. I answered it, and then he's good. Yeah. So for real, what are you guys doing for the rest of the day, guys? I know that quite a lot of the guys. Oh no, yeah, you're right. The chat puts you right next to each other, which is forbidden in the classroom, isn't it? Hey, Livia, it's good to see you. You're starting another class online? You're going to finish your work and play Minecraft. Well, I happen to know that one of the good things that I was told yesterday was that quite a lot of the boys in one of the classes, I believe it was Man Island over there in, oh gosh, which one is that? Is that 2B? I think it's 2B. In Man Island, we're playing Mario Kart online for much of the day. Yep. Playing Minecraft is a great idea. Maybe we should create a common server and everybody you can build. I know what you can do. You could build you could recreate Nigerian politics in Minecraft. Build a Abuja, yeah? Build a Abuja, and then you can stage coup d'etats. Oh no, this is going to be disastrous, isn't it? Yeah. I think I told Donovan that you guys need to, by the end of this, you guys should be able to handle, like, your online gaming skills are going to be incredible. Educational Minecraft, if I don't have the other one. Yeah, I'm not hosting any servers for Minecraft. You guys, on the other hand, y'all do what you do. But yeah, make sure that you are taking care of your work as well. Okay. It's all right to spend some time goofing off, but make sure that you get your work done. Yeah. You've seen them on a lot. Oh no. Yeah. Well, oh no. You're gonna have to take like some screen caps and show me what you build. Okay. Try not to get blown up by creepers. Yeah. Hey, Kat, how you doing? So what you're telling me is that if somehow I figured out how to build the lesson into Minecraft in a way that would be appropriate at an AP level, that you would actually do it? Well, Kat, I think for all of us, all of our friends are going to be online right now. Yeah. Makes me think back to being about your age when the internet was a new and strange thing. And my parents kept telling me that I needed to have friends off the internet, which was true. I did. But now I feel like that was preparation. Yeah. You would kill because you can all get educational Minecraft. Yeah. I don't know that educational Minecraft can handle like the AP level content that I need you guys to do. Yeah. Is there a dominant group that tends to win the presidency? You know that the Hausa are largest in number. Actually, well, here's the deal. That's a good, relevant, topical question, Chandler. Hang on a second. Let me double check. What was that? Oh, okay. All right. Um, yeah, I'm not usually attached to my phone, but life being what it is, now I am. Um, is there a dominant group that tends to win the presidency? No, because of the requirements in terms of how the presidency is won in Nigeria. If you read carefully on the section about like the role of the president in Nigeria, in your reading packet, it talks about how you don't win the presidency in Nigeria with a simple majority. There are requirements to make sure that you're appealing to people all around Nigeria. That's really important because what they were trying to do was make sure that it wasn't going to be a situation where, because the Hausa are the largest ethnic group, that they just continually vote for Hausa representatives. So no, so like for example, Good Luck Jonathan, which that is one of my favorite names in the world. That's a fairly traditional form of virtue naming, which is really common in West Africa. I think it's pretty cool. But Good Luck Jonathan, for example, was Ija, which is a southern group, and he was Christian, and he won the presidency, and I think did he serve 2 terms? Yes, he did. He took over the presidency because he was he Veep? He was vice. I think he was vice president. He was vice president when Umaro Yar'Adua died. So the president died in office, and then Good Luck Jonathan ascended to the position of the presidency, finished out the term, and then was reelected. And then he was eligible to be elected a second time because he hadn't been elected the first term that he finished out. So sort of like here in the United States, where you get to serve 2 terms. But if a president died in office, then his vice president would become the next president, and then that person could run 2 more times, could be elected 2 more times. So Good Luck Jonathan was only elected as president once, although he served nearly 2 terms. And so he lost the presidential election in, I'm blanking on the year, I'll have to look it up here. 2014. He lost the presidential election in 2014, and that allowed Muhammadu Buhari to take control. And he actually, it didn't cause a resistance. It didn't cause, there were a few places that protested. There was a little bit of violence, but that was actually a fairly clean, transition of power, which was a big deal in Nigeria. So no, one group doesn't tend necessarily to win the presidency. And you also have to, be really careful about looking for trends at this point, because Nigeria's current government system has only been around since 1999, which is only a little bit older than you guys, right? So, what else are we doing today, guys? What other issues do you have? You can't solve all of them. You can solve some of them. Ooh. Mr. All just sent out an email about the incoming magnet class for next year. Looks pretty good. You guys did a great job at the open house. The incoming magnet class is, I think, right now 122. Whoa, my classes are going to be enormous in 2024. But yeah, incoming magnet class is going to be 122 students. Looks like their scores are higher even than last year's class, and last year's class was the highest we'd ever had. So looks like they're pretty good kiddos. Yeah, hopefully. Anybody got a sibling who's coming to us next year? You're an only child, Livia? I don't get any more of you? That makes me so sad. It's always so nice. You'll come back and visit. Good. I'm glad. I like it when my students come back and visit. It's always nice, and it's really, really nice to keep track of you guys. You are saying peace out, Georgia. But Kennedy, that that doesn't mean that you can't like say hi to your former teachers and keep in contact with us, right? Yeah. But yeah, no, it's always really lovely to be able to see siblings and everything. Kennedy, how's your brother doing? You'll visit and text and all that jazz? Oh, no, you're not gonna, like, blow up my phone, kid. No. Mm-mm, mm-mm. No, you can definitely visit, though, and if you can find me on social media, you are welcome to join, to add me once you turn 18 and graduate. Mhm. He's stuck in Missouri because he's pledging? How are those things connected? So he's stuck in Missouri right now because like the pledge process is going on and he can't leave, otherwise he won't be able to join in. Is that what's going on? Or yeah, or is the frat just not letting him go? You have all my socials lined up to follow. Oh no. Oh no. You don't think you'll be able to visit because you won't have family here after this year? Is your family moving? It says crosses next week. I don't know what that means, Kennedy, but I'm going to assume it is a fraternity based term and I like an induction ceremony or something like that. Yeah, you used to follow my Facebook, but you don't anymore. Yeah, that's not a thing that I really like students to have access to until you're 18. Yeah. Alani, yeah, does Microsoft Teams work for students and are you doing it wrong or has Cobb County not authorized it yet? Yeah. Let me get to Ronnie's question real quick first. Ronnie, yes. So Honors World History, you're watching a video and answering questions. That's it. Yesterday you did a lot of work for me. Today is an easy day. Okay. Yeah. All right. Um, let's see here. Alani, back to your question. Yeah, I have to approve if you use too many emojis, kid. So Alani wanted to know, does Microsoft Teams work for students and are you doing it wrong? No, you're not doing anything wrong. The county still won't let us add students into Teams. It would seem to me that this would be the moment. I think they're probably moving on it behind the scenes right now because the situation is so extraordinary. They've been doing kind of a soft rollout of that for the past year with like specific test cases around the county. But right now, frankly, the poor tech people at the county have been overwhelmed. Um, like some teachers are more comfortable using technology than others, and so for some teachers, this has been a lot harder than for others. So, like for me, it's not been easy, but it's been easier because I already do a lot of stuff with tech and because I'm a nerd and I really like technology and because I'm pretty used to kind of teaching myself how to use it. Like whenever you guys have tech problems and I can't figure it out, you want to know my secret? It is Google and then describe problem and then find a YouTube video. Like that's what I do. So I strongly recommend that you adopt that practice. But yeah, so the problem is that like the county has sort of soft rolled out teams to certain areas, but they haven't done it for the whole of the county. And I suspect that given the load that is on like digital instruction texts right now, that they will get to it eventually, but it might take a while. What I might try eventually, Alani, is I think I can invite you to meetings, but you have to join as a guest, and I have to approve every single one of you as you join. Um, which is why I'm not doing that because I don't want to have to click. I don't want to have to like constantly have to like approve you as you join in. So Yeah, that's my problem. That's I like a lot of what Teams does because then I could screen share, and so if you have a tech problem, I could actually show you how to do it in live terms. Like, and actually, one of the cool things about like Teams is that you can screen share back to me, but I don't know that they're going to be able to get that done for us right now. Give it a week and we'll see where they are. I don't want to pester our tech people unnecessarily right now when they're trying to like help people who don't know how to set up blogs set up blogs. Yeah. Um, so he's going to be a Kappa. Cool. Awesome. Tell Zion I said hello. I hope he is well. And congratulations. Yeah. Um, do I think I'll see you before spring break? I am hopeful, kid, but realistic. And the realistic portion of me says that it is better for us to overreact than it is for us to underreact. Yeah. It is better for us to make sure that we are encouraging you guys to stay home as much as possible right now for the public health and the public good. And yes, and my thought is probably not. The governor actually yesterday canceled all schools all across the state, not just Cobb. Cobb had canceled voluntarily on its own, but the governor used some extraordinary powers yesterday to cancel schools all across the state, K through 12, and that extension lasts until the end of March. Okay. So I won't see you at least until April. Okay. But you know, I see you. I'm still here. You're still there. It's okay. We're going to be all right. So, just because you're not in the classroom doesn't mean that I'm not trying to check up on you. That's part of the reason why I'm doing this. Oh, the Cardinals are back. Okay. All right. Anything else? What else is going on there? What was the coolest thing you learned yesterday? Okay, Chandler, I am going to say that Poulin Rank is your political teacher here. I'm going to say no, elections aren't shams, but access to voting and is largely structurally based, and that we need to think very critically about how they work because they can enshrine systems of power. Um, and I think what you're probably talking about there is sortition, right? We talked about this a little bit, like in ancient Greece, like in Athens, like we talk about it being democratic, but it was sortition that they used, not necessarily like electing people to office. I'm not entirely convinced. I believe that we should just shift to a lottery system, kid. Because there's the ideal and then there's the practical, right? A lotto system might work if you could guarantee that everybody had access to education that was good, free, fair, and that was accurate, right? So that everybody's working from the same information base. But until you can achieve that, then no, I don't think you should have a lotto system. Yeah. Kennedy, are you sick? I'm sorry to hear that, kiddo. And you can sleep for 12 hours consecutively, huh? That's a skill. Congratulations. Mhm. Oh, I didn't ask Chandler. What other course are you taking? You have a compromised immune system and the stress got to you. Hey, fair enough, kid. I am sorry about that. Take care of yourself, stay inside, And I advise, if you are stressed out, one of my favorite things here, let me show you, up, 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 is this. This is one of my very, very favorite apps. This is called Headspace. Okay. I totally recommend this. Okay. It does guided meditations. The basic app is free. And actually, right now, they're doing a lot of free, like stress based meditations and everything globally because of the crisis and everything. So, normally, like to get like there's a base level sort of like guided meditation that it'll take you through, and you can do that as many times as you like, but after a certain point like you have to like pay money for it. But right now I think they're letting you have like 3 months free on it. But it's really great. It kind of like, if you've never meditated before, it's really, it's not religiously based. It's not a spirituality sort of thing. It's just sort of like controlling your breathing. If you deal with like anxiety or depression, I really recommend it. I think it's very helpful. It's more about just kind of trying to recognize how you're feeling and sort of like work through it without having to panic. um, it's a good way for me to kind of unwind. So, like, what I'm doing right now is I kind of structure my day. So, in the morning, I get up, I'm at my computer by 8. I do a little bit of work, take care of emails with teachers. Excuse me. I kind of figure out the general shape of the next day's lesson. Then I get on here and I talk with you guys and do office hours for an hour and a half. Um, After that, I take a break for lunch. Then after lunch, I come back and I write up all of my lessons for the day. For the next day's lessons, I go ahead and post them to the blog, make sure all the links work, set up the reminds so that they'll send out the schedule at the right time for you guys. And then once I have all of that done, then I meditate, and I meditate for about 20 minutes, because it gives me kind of a good sort of like time to chill out. Then I take care of stuff around the house, do a little bit of exercise, and then I sit outside for a little bit just so I have kind of a routine. So, like, I'm finding that routines kind of help with regards to like keeping anxiety under control, and to keep stress under control. So, it may not work for everybody. Meditation isn't always something that a lot of people feel really comfortable with. But if you're willing to give it a shot, I would strongly suggest it. So you're taking a class on love as a force for social justice. Oh, that sounds amazing. That sounds so good. What are you reading in that, Chandler? Like, what are the assigned readings? And Jada, you're learning about nuts in Chinese. Like, is that the vocabulary that you're learning right now? And what nuts in particular? Like nuts like me, or nuts like macadamia? Tiz says that the coolest thing she learned was that there's 2,760 milligrams of sodium in 3 packets of spicy buffalo sauce from McDonald's. Tiz, I am curious, how does that information help you in the world? Like, what are you going to do with that information? Is this like if you're planning on MacGyvering something and you need to figure out like how to get enough sodium to like explode or something, like where to get it from? Is that what you're doing? Why do you know that? Just why? Okay, so you're learning how to say peanuts, cashews, and pistachios? Oh, did I ask a question? Excuse me. Oh, I was asking you, Chandler, what are you reading in your social justice class? Like, what's the reading list? Who are you reading? Sorry, I'm laughing. There's two male cardinals right outside my window. I turned the camera, but like that side of the room's a mess. You don't need to see it. And they're fighting each other right now. It's pretty great. You haven't started? You're just finishing Revolutionary Ideas. Is that the one about borders, kiddo? Yeah. I actually haven't had a chance to sit down and read a book yet. That's something that I'll have to start doing. But right now, I'm just kind of until I kind of figure out the digital workflow for setting up lessons for you guys and kind of thinking ahead to what I want you to do 3 days from now. That's kind of my issue right now because I don't want it to just be upload a PowerPoint, have you take notes, upload a PowerPoint, have you take notes. I want you to do a variety of things until I kind of figure out the digital workflow on it. I'm probably going to not have a whole lot of free time, frankly. Yeah, it's the Borders, Elections, Constitutions, and Prisons one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think. I took a course on I took a course on identity in Latin American, Chandler, and we read a really interesting monograph. And I can't, I don't think I have it anymore. I think I gave it away. We read a really interesting monograph about borders as liminal spaces, as essentially transitional areas where identity is really fluid, where people don't necessarily, especially with regards to nationality, like their identity is extraordinarily fluid if you live on a border. Especially if you're in a place where people have to cross the border on a regular basis. And I wish I could remember. I'm going to have to go back and look at that syllabus for you. If I can think about the. No, I haven't had time to work on my Portuguese yet either. I mean, it's one of these obnoxious things, Jada, where it's like, it's the work day for me. I'm still working, right? So yesterday I didn't really finish up working until about 5 p.m. and then I needed to do stuff around the house and then I had to cook dinner and then needed to do laundry and yeah, so like, life goes on. Let's see here. Someone else is on Remind. Okay, hang on a second here. Let me respond to this question that I have. It's focused on like the actual content. Can't spell correctly. Okay. All right. There we go. I think I've got that figured out. Sarah Song has pieces on border and ethnic divisions. That sounds good. Yeah. I haven't read her. I need to. I'll put her on my list. I was all excited yesterday because someone who I follow on Twitter retweeted a professor who works on international relations. And the professor had put together a massive list of podcasts and podcast episodes that specifically deal with international relations. So I'm going through there to see if I can find any really good stuff for you guys to listen to that would be connected to our studies. Hey, Charlie, how you doing, kiddo? Everything going well with you? Yeah. But yeah, Yeah, the podcasts. I'm looking through just to see if I'll put out ones that I think might just be relevant for you. Um, hit you up with the IR. You know what? It's a Google Doc. Kennedy, if you like, I can share it with you in a bit. Let me, get through stuff today, and then maybe by the end of the day, I can remember to send it out. If I don't, let me know, and I will. Okay. But yeah, I know that because it's oh, you know it because it's fun. Okay, back to the sodium thing. Yeah. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is yeah, I'm going to go through it and see if there's any stuff that pertains to Nigeria. I'm not going to require it. It'll probably just be kind of like supplemental stuff. Um, excuse me. Um, Still not running a fever. Still no aches and pains. Just a cough. Assuming that it's just allergies. Okay. Um, but at any rate, yeah, the podcast stuff. If I find stuff that I think you might find interesting, I'll send it out to you. The other issue is that next unit, because we're going to start the next unit while we're still out. I'll talk more about that as we get further in the week a little bit about kind of what the plan is for that. But there's some really great stuff out there on Mexico that I want you guys to use. I'm going to kind of try to rejigger, I think, some of my Harkness readings for you guys for next unit. I already have the packets scanned and everything, so it's not like I have to like refix everything. But what I might do is I might take out an article. I'm going to have to figure out how to. I know how, but I'll have to split a PDF and then add some other stuff in there. But I'll probably add in a podcast or two for you guys to listen to about Mexico. There's some really cool stuff out there. And then when we get to Iran, hopefully we will be back at school by then. But there's definitely a couple of podcasts I want you to listen to on Iran. One of them is, the podcast that we listen to for China, the Throughline podcast. Throughline is hosted by, I think, one of the hosts is Iranian, and I can't remember the national identity of the other. She's really wonderful, though. I want to say she's Jordanian, but I'm not entirely positive. At any rate, like the hosts are Muslim Americans, and they do a really great job, especially on Middle Eastern history. Like they're good across the board, but they're especially good on Middle Eastern history. So I'm definitely going to have you listen to a couple of podcasts about Iran that come out of Throughline because they're just really brilliantly done because the host is Iranian and knows what he's talking about. So that's always really useful when we can do that. Yeah. So what else is going on, guys? Anybody watch anything really, really great on Netflix or whatever it is that you're streaming on? Because we're all streaming everything all the time right now. Crickets? More dance moms. Oh no. Dance Moms. I have watched a few episodes of Dance Moms, Livia. I don't know that it gives you a break from society. I think it gives you like there are so many terrible people in Dance Moms. The kids are adorable. The kids are adorable, and I feel really bad for a lot of them. But like some of the moms are just so insane. You watched a movie class, Nerve? I haven't. It is. Oh, did you watch a movie called Nerve? Is that what you were trying to type? I don't know. Might just be a autocorrect issue. What is Nerve about, and who's in it, and like, is this something where that I should consider watching or no? Oh, it has it's Dave Franco in it. Oh, the Francos are so weird. Truth or dare, but it's all dare, and you can be a watcher or a player. Players make money. I feel like it might be a thing that makes me really uncomfortable, Kennedy. I don't know about that. I am one of those people who I can't even watch The Office, like a full episode of it all the way through. It makes me so uncomfortable. Have you seen Sonic yet? It's about giving up your dreams. Like we're talking like Sonic the Hedgehog, like gotta go fast, right? How is Sonic about giving up your dreams? I don't know if I want to see Sonic, Tiz. I'm kind of thinking that, frankly, um, Sonic, its initial version of the character was so terrifying. It was so uncanny valley that I just couldn't watch it. Mhm. Mm. I don't know. I think if I watch anything tonight, which I don't know that I'll be able to, yeah, Sonic is a no go. I tend to agree. If I watch anything tonight, it'll probably be, um, it might be Clueless. Kind of feeling some 90s nostalgia right now. Part of that's because I saw Emma not last weekend, weekend before last, before the world exploded. I went to go see Emma, and it was so good. And I know that Noemi wasn't a big fan, but I thought it was fantastic. And so I'm kind of having a clueless like feel for it. You'll watch it when it hits Redbox. I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, if it shows up on Netflix, maybe I'll click on it. That's sort of where I live, you know? It's I'm not gonna pay extra for it. That's not what I do. Yeah. Mhm. I feel like a lot of I think it was Universal. Universal has decided to move a lot of their, um movies directly to home access, and you'd still have to pay them, like pay for them, but that basically because the theaters are closing, that they're moving things to home streaming instead, so that people can still watch their movies, because otherwise the studios are going to take a massive hit. Like, I would really love to see Mulan when it comes out. I really want to see Mulan. Oh, I have Hulu too, Jada. There's some really great stuff on Hulu. Um, I just have Netflix because I've had Netflix forever. I've had Netflix since it was just like they used to mail you actual DVDs, like back in the day before they had the streaming option. They would actually mail you DVDs, and I've had Netflix because um, it was kind of the way that you could get like foreign films. So that's what I would do. Frozen 2 is on Disney Plus. I never saw it in theaters because I don't have a 3-year-old. And Frozen, you know what? I really love Disney movies. I very much do. But Tangled, I love so much, and Frozen just kind of left me cold. Yeah. You watched Danny Phantom and Drake and Josh on Hulu. Those are some classic choices. Yeah. No, I haven't watched Hillary. I've heard it's wonderful. I need to watch it. But maybe when I'm not super stressed. So that might be a thing that I watch when the world isn't exploding. Yeah? It's a terrible pun, Kennedy. It's a terrible pun. You shouldn't encourage me. You know what? I've heard Frozen 2 is actually better than the first one. Miss Bird thinks so. But I haven't seen it yet. The animation is good? Okay, all right. Maybe that is something I will put on. Yeah. Mhm. If not, Tangled is definitely on my list of comfort movies. I love Tangled. Tangled is wonderful. And yeah, I'm really kind of hoping that Disney does something amazing, like decide to stream Mulan, the live action version, you know? Carson, you are a woman after my own heart here because you're correct. Tangled is better than Frozen. It is. The music is more coherent. It is. Like, the music in Frozen is good, but it genre shifts so much from song to song to song. I feel like they're not telling a coherent story all the way through. Now, Miss Bird and I, the chorus director, have had real fights about this because she loves Frozen and she thinks I'm wrong. And I am not wrong. I am correct on this. Um, but yeah, Tangled, I just feel like has like a through line to it that I really appreciate. Um, yeah, I like Tangled a whole lot. Trying to think. The new Frozen is too good. Okay, all right, all right. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. Part of the reason I think that I'm anti-Frozen is because when the original Frozen came out, within 2 weeks I had to ban that song from my classroom because anytime I would say something even akin to "Let It Go," I would have students just kind of burst into song, and you can only take that for so long. Mhm. Jada, I think that there are some Disney movies that if you don't cry, you're probably a monster. You know, if you don't cry when Mufasa dies, that's a problem. Princess and the Frog is absolutely underrated. It is so good. It's so good. I love The Princess and the Frog. And actually, when I teach world history, I show part of it because when I get to syncretic religions, when we talk about the Haitian Revolution, I show gosh, what is it? Don't you disrespect me, little man. It's Dr. Facilier's song where he's talking about friends on the other side. That's the song I'm thinking of. Yeah, that there's when I talk about syncretic religions and the blending of faiths, I talk about Vodun and Voodoo and Hoodoo a little bit as well. And is it on Netflix? No, it might be. You know what? You'll have to check. Tarzan is still on Netflix. Otherwise, it might be on Disney Plus. It's Friends on the Other Side. It's so good, man. And what I do is we talk about kind of the blending of West African and Central African religious practices with Catholicism, and then I show them that clip from Princess Frog, and we play spot the syncretism. So it is on Netflix. Oh, good. It's so wonderful. It's one of my favorites. I also really love the song. It's like a gospel song, and they're in the bottle tree, and like there's all that light coming through. The animation is just beautiful. It's so good. Yeah. Yeah, Princess and the Frog is deeply underrated, and those of you who haven't seen it should make time on your schedule to watch it. It is an excellent one. I'm trying to think what other Disney movies are deeply underrated. The Emperor's New Groove. The Emperor's New Groove. Dig a little deeper. You are correct. Yeah. hmm Oh, for a 90s vibe, 10 Things I Hate About You. Heck yeah, that is, excuse me, that's, yeah. 10 Things I Hate About You is one of my all time favorite movies. Yep. Yeah, it's based on Shakespeare. You're correct. It is based on Taming of the Shrew. It has Joseph Gordon Levitt, who, um, he's exactly my age, so hands off. And Julia Stiles, and it's got a great soundtrack, and it has Heath Ledger, and it just breaks my heart. But it's so good. Yep. Chronicles of Narnia, that's a good one to watch too. Um, Although, can I be real with you, Carson? Because I know we disagree about some characters. Here's the thing. I love Edmund and I love Lucy, both in the books and the movies. But Susan and Peter bore me. They're the boring ones. I don't care about them. Um, that's okay. I still enjoy the movies and I still enjoy the books, but I don't care about Susan or Peter. Yeah. Who always tries to make you what? She always tries to make you watch that movie. I still won't. Why do y'all like it so much? 10 things of What do you mean it ain't it? It's so good. It's so good. I mean, I will grant Kennedy, it is kind of a white people movie. Yeah. The music is definitely like white people late 90s, early 2000s. Um but it's so good. I mean, Heath Ledger is just astounding in it. Yeah. Mhm. Susan was never, you're correct. Susan's character was never really great. Yeah. Mhm. Treasure Planet is definitely underrated. I do enjoy Treasure Planet. Yeah. It, Tiz is correct. Tiz is absolutely correct. But Tiz, I will add in that that is peak late 90s. For peak mid 90s, it's Clueless. And then for peak early 90s, got to think about that one. Yeah. Chandler, that is terrifying. How is Clueless how you learned how to drive? None of them can drive in that movie. Did you like totally pause? Uh, Olivia with the very subtle burn. Fair enough. Chandler, you keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. Aesthetic, aesthetic is like a style thing, not a skill, dude. Speaking of, do not mean what it think it means, you know? Okay. Um, if you haven't, like, I think everybody should use this time to catch up on watching critical classics like The Princess Bride. If you have not seen The Princess Bride, I recommend it. Also, Clue, the 1980s version with Tim Curry in it. It is hilarious. I highly recommend it. You should watch it. Mhm. Your brand has. No, I think your friends have just said that they don't enjoy driving with you, Chandler. The Princess Bride. Oh, you haven't seen either, Kennedy? Kennedy, what are you even doing, my dear? Kennedy, I strongly recommend that you watch it. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure The Princess Bride is on Netflix right now. And I don't know if it's on Prime, but we can find out. I mean, here's the deal. You're going to watch it and you're going to be like, what is this 1980s nonsense? Because, like, the soundtrack is a little bit cheesy and it feels a little bit low budget, but it's fantastic. Yeah. My favorite fact about The Princess Bride is that the sword fight scene, which, if you have never seen it, you need to watch it, if only for the sword fighting scene. The sword fighting scene between Carrie Elwes and Mandy Patinkin is just astoundingly good. And they were trained by the guy who choreographed sword fighting for uh, Douglas Fairbanks. And Douglas Fairbanks was this really great silent film star. And like he did stuff in the 1920s and 30s. He was the original Zorro in movies. And he's just an incredible sword master. And the guy who choreographed the fight scene in The Princess Bride is the guy who choreographed for Douglas Fairbanks. So he's like, they're not playing. They actually learn how to do all of this stuff. Every shot you see in the sword fighting sequence in The Princess Bride is them actually fighting. It's Mandy Patinkin and Carrie Elwes. The only part that isn't is there's like a little flip that somebody does like over a bar. That's a stuntman, but all of the sword work is theirs. Even the part where they switch hands. It's really cool. Yeah. You've never had a complaint? Really? Nobody's ever grabbed onto the handle and been like, slow down? Your mother has never like stomped an imaginary brake? Oh, Carson. Oh, so Clue is on Amazon Prime. I highly recommend Clue, especially if you enjoyed Knives Out. If you enjoyed Knives Out, I think Clue is a natural kind of connection to that. You, Car, Chandler, you watch TikToks while driving? This is my unimpressed face. You were all too busy praying to complain. Chandler, please, honey, you got to be more careful. So, Ashlyn, I think you can rent it on YouTube, Ashlyn. I know you can do that. I think it's like $3.99 if you do the SD version of it, not the HD. Carson, I really like Murder on the Orient Express, and I thought that the new one directed by Kenneth Branagh was okay. It was all right. There were some good performances in it. I felt like the pacing of it was slower than it needed to be. Um, I enjoyed it. How can you not enjoy a good Agatha Christie novel like adaptation? But it was still. I felt like there were some clunky camera shots in it. But that's just me being a film nerd. But I really enjoy Kenneth Branagh when he does Shakespeare adaptations. So Branagh did this wonderful adaptation of Much Ado About Nothing back in 95. It has Denzel Washington in it and Keanu Reeves, believe it or not, and Emma Thompson, and it is fantastic. I know not all of you are like, you watched it at a stoplight, so not driving. You should be careful, kid. That still counts. They can still get you for distracted driving if you're watching it at a stoplight. Yeah. But if you want a piece of Shakespeare that is accessible and really funny and very beautifully shot, the 1995 version of Much Ado About Nothing is fantastic. Mhm. Murder Mystery on Netflix is good. I'll give it a shot. Your mother loves Denzel. Um, well, Denzel Washington is wonderful in Much Ado About Nothing. He's really kind of natural with the flow of Shakespearean language. He's not like declaiming. It's like conversational. And oh gosh, I just adore him. What is this movie with Denzel Washington and Keanu Reeves? It's Shakespeare, Ashlyn. It's Shakespeare. But it's so good, I promise. And Much Ado About Nothing is a comedy. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so Murder Mystery has Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler. Interesting. All right, guys. So we've been chatting here about random movies for a while, but I'm going to log off in about 3 minutes here because I've got other stuff I got to do today. But I did just want to kind of like sit down and chat with you guys. I don't mind if we do this for whatever. I would like you guys to have a chance to talk to each other, to talk to me. I think that's absolutely valid stuff for you guys to be doing right now. But don't neglect your studies, okay? Do me a favor, if you have any questions or concerns or you can't get things to work, let me know. Message for CompGov kids, and I'm going to send this out or put it up on the blog tomorrow. Dr. Roach needs you to join the Edmodo that she's asked you to do so that she can share some stuff with you, okay? So make sure that you do that, okay? Yeah, I hope everybody has a good day. And remember, 5 p.m., I'm going to send out a good thing and you're going to have to respond to it, okay? So I want you to think about like, what was good today? You can send me a picture. You can send me a meme. You can send me a really cool article that you read. You can just respond with a couple of words, whatever it is. But it really kind of brightened my day seeing that yesterday. And I hope it brightens yours. Yeah. Oh, so we're divided as to whether or not we think Murder Mystery is any good. Well, tastes differ. So if it brings you joy, go for it. All right. So, guys, everybody good? Time to take your conversations into your group chats. Yeah. Okay. Go build stuff in Minecraft. Yeah. All right. Then take a screenshot and show me what you do. All right. Peace out, Kennedy. See you guys. I'll be back tomorrow and I'll see you then. Bye.